I've never understood people who are into gaming but not wrestling. As far as I'm concerned, wrestling is basically Street Fighter IRL. They both feature larger-than-life colourful characters, hyper-real finishing moves, and both will embarrass your parents equally if you're still into them in your 30s. Since 1983, wrestling and gaming have enjoyed the happiest of marriages. Sure, like every marriage, there's been bumps along the way. For every WCW vs NWO World Tour, there's been a Royal Rumble. But 98% of the time, wrestling plus video games equals fun. And with WWE 2K17 just around the corner, what better time to take a look back at some of the greatest wrestling games of all time. I'm Chris from WhatCulture, and these are the 10 best wrestling games ever. Number 10. WWE Allstars. Wrestling is perfect. Almost. The only thing missing? Gravity-breaking finishing moves performed by superstars more unbelievably giant than your mum. And that's what WWE Allstars delivers. Seriously, you've never seen a rock bottom like this before, and you won't accept anything less ever again. Though light on modes and depth, its crazy in-ring action is guaranteed to widen eyes and drop jaws. Fantasy Warfare mode showed us what it would look like if some legendary superstars that never got to face off finally did, like Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk. With thoughtfully put together promo packages before each match by people who clearly care and understand wrestling, the results are tremendous. All Stars has that extra bonus of being super accessible to non-wrestling fans. Weirdos. Number 9. WWE 2K16. Ukes have been refining their SmackDown in a video game. Number 8. Super Fire Pro Wrestling X Premium. The Fire Pro series has enjoyed very limited exposure and success in the West, making appearances on consoles such as the PS2 and Game Boy Advance. It's this SNES iteration that still has the hardcores coming back for more. The isometric view might not be for everyone, but SFP-WXP was a true pioneer, boasting a Create a Wrestler mode. In the 16-bit era, this was huge. Fire Pro takes its wrestling experience to the higher end of the realism scale, with the player needing to remember to breathe. This may deter the more casual player, but with a franchise that includes C4 explosion death matches, who said they were invited in the first place? Number 7.
Jam Vendetta.
Stone Cold Steve Watson? John Cena? Triple who? These names mean nothing in the arenas of Jam Vendetta. Or anywhere, really. Those aren't real names. Instead, you have to contend with the likes of Method Man, DMX, and Luda. After No Mercy, AKI took their legendary engine and applied it to the world of hip-hop in an idea that would never get greenlit these days. That's because it sounds crazy, but the results are glorious. There are grapples, submissions, and even Irish whips, but the word wrestling is never mentioned. It's just like modern WWE. The story mode is straightforward but awesome. The multiplayer action is fast and the soundtrack is kick-ass. What it lacks in customization and modes, the sequel, Fight for NY, more than makes up for, and both games deserve your immediate attention. Number 6. WWF WrestleFest. The undisputed big daddy of arcade wrestling games, Techno's 1991 coin is addictive and boasted a surprising variety of moves for the time, ensuring that all the kids who stepped up left with empty pockets. It may be a simpler wrestling game for a simpler time, but I remember walking by a cabinet and seeing the screen display Mean Gene interviewing the Legion of Doom and being absolutely blown away. Just look at those graphics! Perfection. Number 5. WCW vs NWO Revenge. The beloved sequel to World Tour and greatest WCW game ever arrived in late 1998 as an N64 exclusive. Arguably the most important feature that Revenge popularized, and one that, in this guy's humble opinion, needs to be present in every single wrestling game, was the ability to customize existing wrestlers' names and attires. Wrestlers' looks and gimmicks can change a lot in the fast-moving world of professional wrestling, and the fact that Revenge gave N64-owning grappling enthusiasts the ability to change this allowed them to keep their rosters current. I played this game to death with a friend back in the day, and neither of us were wrestling fans at the time. So incredible is this game. The quality of the game was so undeniable that the next offering from AKI would be a real titan. Number 4. WWE SmackDown vs Raw 2006. When the SmackDown series switched to the SmackDown vs Raw moniker in 2004, some interesting nuances were added, such as voiceovers from real WWE talent. What really made SmackDown vs Raw 2006 stand out as the best title in that particular run, though, was the hugely entertaining story mode, featuring angles specifically written for the game, and an impressive voiceover cast, including the likes of The Undertaker, whose ridiculous and brilliant in-game angle involving Eddie Guerrero is unforgettable. Number 3. WWF WrestleMania 2000. After seeing the stampeding success of WCW vs NWO Revenge, WWE promptly ghosted Acclaim and shacked up with AKI and THQ themselves. Smart move. And what a beautiful baby they made. WrestleMania 2000 also built on the editor wrestler function that Revenge introduced, adding a full-on core mode. This is how myself and countless other wrestling fans, including AJ Punk herself, learned every single wrestling move name under the sun. Probably why I didn't do too well in my history GCSE. Because it wasn't about snapmares. We've still yet to see an HD re-release of WrestleMania or its sequel, but with these N64 games still so beloved by fans to this day, it can't be completely out of the question. Number 2. WWE SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. The fourth and undisputedly best game in the original SmackDown series featured a roster that reflected WWE's outrageous lineup of talent at the time. Here Comes the Pain merged the series' hallmark fast action with an added level of technical nuance. Add to that a solid storyline mode, never before seen match types such as the Elimination Chamber, and bra and panties matches. No, don't snigger. I can't tell you how many times me and my mates have settled heated disputes with bra and panties matches in real life. It really separates the men from the boys. Number 1. WWF No Mercy. Yeah, that's right. No Mercy is number 1. It may not be a surprise, but that doesn't stop it from being an undeniable fact. The Creator Wrestler mode had more depth than we'd ever seen, with new moves and attire unlocked through the SmackDown Mall. Endlessly grinding through survival mode for SmackDown dollars, though, didn't ever feel like a grind, because the game's so fun. No Mercy's story mode was revolutionary, with multiple belts to go after, branching paths, and unforgettable angles from the Attitude Era recreated for your wrestler to experience themselves. It was so far ahead of its time that modern wrestling games are still playing catch up. The game actually launched with a game-breaking bug that wiped all your progress and reset everything in the game, and it's still the greatest wrestling game of all time. And if you disagree, I'll fight you. And by that I mean, I'll play you at No Mercy. And I get to use my created character, and we use my settings, and you have to use the crappy 2-player controller. And if you win, I'm telling, and you're not coming to my birthday party. No Mercy is still fun, it's still being played, and it's still being modded. There's a reason. No Mercy is the pinnacle of wrestling games, released during wrestling's most popular period. It was the best time to be a wrestling fan and a gamer. And if you were blessed enough to be both, well, this was your reward. And we'll probably never see the likes of it again. And that's it. That's our list. Please let me know in the comments about how I forgot Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, Pro Wrestling, Saturday Night Slam Masters, and Attitude. And please like, share, and subscribe. Talk to me about wrestling games on Twitter here, and that is F0X at the end. I'm Chris from WhatCulture, and I'll see you again soon.